You've tuned into The Mountain Gardener with your host, Ken Lain. Gardening, it can be challenging, but with these simple insider tips, you'll reap huge rewards. Now, let's tune into today's Mountain Gardener with Ken and Lisa. And welcome to this week's edition of The Mountain Gardener. Your host, Ken Lain, here every week talking about the landscapes of northern Arizona, and we are in the thick of it. Oh, spring season's here. We went from winter, like snow, to like it's summer almost. I mean, we went from parkas to shorts, just like in a couple days. And that's the way mountain gardening is. That's just it. Every year it's the same. Going, oh, it's unique, it's warming, it's different. It's not, it's the same every year. It varies a few days back and forth, but we violently go up into spring and we can violently come right back down. So you want to be, you can plant, start planting, just be ready. If the season turns, you can throw sheets, throw your hat, throw a blanket over your plants, just in case. And so definitely the season for trees, without doubt, this is the time for trees. It's perfect. That weather we had from the last system, it's going to make digging a hole very easy. It's moist. Things are going to adapt and start rooting very quickly for you. It's just like you could not ask for a better. The stars aligned for planting trees, whether it's a flowering tree, a fruit tree, an evergreen tree, it's aligned for you to go for it. You're seeing right now, the trees are blooming. Now, the blooming trees, those typically are not fruiting trees. They're ornamental trees. So you're seeing the first one. We've had a wild cherry has been blooming for a bit, 2-3 weeks. It has a white flower, kind of dark trunk to it. It's shorter, typically, I don't know, 20 feet tall. Now, it's not big like a cottonwood is 80, 100 feet tall. You got your ponderosa pines, 70, 80, 90 feet tall. These things are monsters. These are shorter. The ornamental trees are typically shorter trees, especially in the spring season. So folks are thinking that maybe they're fruit trees, but they aren't. What happens is the ornamental trees bloom earlier, and many of them are fruit trees that have just been programmed to bloom so early that the frost takes the fruit off. And so you have ornamental flowering pear. It's the white one you're seeing bloom right now. It's a fairly large tree. It's used as a shade tree often. It's flowering Bradford pears, capital pears. You've got aristocrat. There's several names, but ornamental flowering pear. It's related to fruiting pears, same flower, but it doesn't put any fruit on. And so no mess. So you just want a big, beautiful shade tree with some white flowers in the spring. You want red, glossy green leaves in the summer, and then beautiful red foliage in the fall. That's your tree. And so you're seeing a lot of those in your neighborhood with a white flower. That's what that one plant is right now, tree. You're seeing another one with pink flowers right now. It opens up about the same time, maybe a few days earlier than ornamental pears, but you've got purple leaf plum. It's related to a plum tree, same flower as a plum, very rich, deep color. Its claim to fame is very low care, easy, deep rooted. Animals don't bother it. Doesn't put on, it's not a messy tree. Has this beautiful pink flower. Sometimes it can put on a little cherry sized fruit on it. Not a big plum, not giant, like holding your house, tomato size plum, but sometimes a little cherry. My kids used to climb our tree we had in our yard, and it would eat they were sick almost. And so they like the fruit, but it doesn't do that every year. It's inconsistent. So you're really planting that for the beautiful pink flowers and then for the rich kind of royal purple foliage. And so it's not, you can get too many purple leaf plums in the yard, but a few spotted in between the blue, the oaks, the junipers, your other trees. It's quite handsome. It looks that purple foliage is quite striking. It holds that foliage right through summer and into fall, and then it is deciduous. Deciduous means they lose their leaves in the winter. That's all it means, or hibernates underground or does something. So it's deciduous, going to lose its leaves. It's not an evergreen. like a pine tree or a fir or cypress, cedar, juniper. These are all evergreen trees. And so those are the two you're really seeing. I just did see this last week, the red buds have started to crack. And so red buds are kind of the shortest of all the ornamental trees. And so they stay down, well under 20 feet. So 15, 18 feet, somewhere in there is their natural, that's how they grow. So it's a small tree, kind of a cute tree with a bright, bright pink flower to it, well, some variation of pink. And it's got a heart-shaped leaf after it's done blooming. So all these early spring bloomers, they will bloom first for about a month. And then the leaves will come on, and it will just kind of, the flowers will fade, and then the foliage will come on, and just be this smooth transition from spring to summer. That's ornamental trees. I mean, you need ornamental trees because they excite you as a gardener. They just go, whoa, that's pretty cool. Where did that come from? Wow, it was twigs yesterday. Today it's covered in blossoms. Wow. Right after the ornamental trees, the flowers are done, the regular fruit trees will form. So you'll start to see the apples and pears and cherries and nectarines and peaches and apricots, and they're all going to go. And so, but they will bloom a little bit later. Again, we've programmed those. So with the varieties we sell here at Waters Garden Center, we're purposely bringing the ones that bloom late in the season. So hopefully they'll bloom and get us out of that risk of frost. So we don't really want them to bloom until well into April, May. So that's our time frame and then they'll set fruit, and hopefully we're past that freezing. And so fruit trees, you kind of want, if you get the wrong variety, they'll bloom too early. And really what you planted, well, it's an ornamental tree instead of a fruit tree. And so you get those desert varieties, early spring bloomers, and they'll be beautiful. They'll be healthy. They'll grow nicely, but they'll never set fruit. That's why. And so your ornamental trees, your spring blooming ornamental trees like red buds and or ornamental pears and purple leaf plums, they're going to bloom so early that, you don't want fruit on those. You planted it so it would be beautiful without the fruit. For you fruit tree growers, that's appalling to you. If you're going to go through the hustle, I want to be able to eat from my yard. Well, those trees will bloom just a tick later, 2 to 3 weeks after we get this show, after all the showboating's done of the ornamental trees, then you'll get the fruit trees taking off. Then there's a whole nother series of trees that are summer bloomers. There's a whole nother set of trees that just look fabulous in the summer. They have no interest in spring. They're waiting. Your golden locusts, they don't care about, they're going, I'm not even going to remotely think about leafing out till I know it's summer. Your robinias or purple robe locusts, your oak trees, they're all waiting. And so your chase trees and desert willows are all waiting. Now, if you're not getting a good show, you're less flowers, the flowers aren't as large or not as crisp and bright, that's going to be a fertilization thing. So what happens is our soil's terrible. It's just awful. And so you'll find you have to fertilize more often here than you do other parts of the country. So make sure you're feeding those trees regularly, and you'll get a big show of flowers. And so we have a 744, all purpose and all natural food that's fantastic for trees, the heavy feeders. So your lilacs, your forsythias, the flowering trees, these are all things that need a lot of food. So you put this on over the rock, it'll just kind of float through, it'll break down eventually, get into the root zone, and that plant's going to pick those things up and use that to form flowers. And so you need to do that now for the summer bloomers. It's too late to really, maybe a little bit of benefit, but really the spring bloomings, they need the food back in the fall and winter. They're picking that food up then to form this spring's flower buds. So you're always thinking ahead, a season ahead for the benefit of those plants. And so if you haven't done it yet, you should. But really next year, note to self, fertilize in the fall for my spring blooming things, whether it's a fruit tree, a flowering tree, or whatever.
Growing up in Prescott, we knew spring was here when my grandmother's lilacs bloomed. I'm Lisa Waters Lain, and my grandmother would be thrilled with the new bloomerang purple lilacs at Waters Garden Center. They don't just bloom once in spring, they bloom again in summer. Mine bloomed 3 times last year, making spring last well into fall. Come check out all the heavenly new sights and scents that are making this spring the most beautiful ever.
For a more fruitful garden, increased success in the landscape that just feels better, then tune in daily to the Mountain Gardener podcast. Subscribe through your favorite podcast streamer or visit watersgardencenter.com. Better yet, visit me directly right here at Waters Garden Center. Thanks for tuning in.